Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Monday, March 28th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Of course, you can leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And of course, we want to make sure that you can find me. You can find me on TikTok and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now page, your name may not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page, hit like, and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, I want to say hello to Charles and Michael, and of course my lovely wife watching online. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate you guys. I love you, honey. And Will Smith says good morning, too. That's pretty funny. All right, on today's show, we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about the Billionaire Tax. We're going to be talking about the reward for George Floyd protesters. We're going to be talking about Biden's approval rating, Amazon unions, and drop the mandate, will you? Oh, man. All right, let's talk about Friday. So Friday was certainly an interesting day. The market started off with a bang, and then it settled down a bit. You know, end of the month and options expiring. Well, most of what's going on most of what's going on here. It was the last Friday of the month, and traders play that delicate balance of how to play the last Friday of the month with options expiration. So the market had been great, as you know, for the last 2 weeks, and most of the surprises have already been counted into the current value of the market. The war continues, and it had a bright note this weekend when Zelensky stated that Ukraine is ready to discuss neutrality status. He's basically going to surrender, but at the same time, it may not be a bad choice for him. He made a 90-minute address with Russian journalists stating his country is prepared to discuss adapting a neutral status as part of a peace deal with Russia. You know, and if you have not heard about the bold statement that Biden made at his speech in Poland, where he said that Putin must not remain in power. By the way, he says Putin must not remain in power. I'm going to tell you, I know all you guys are thinking something else, but I'm thinking that this was the first brave statement made by this coward president, and it was amazing that he made this statement. Okay, there is a problem with this, of course, and it was quickly backpedaled by Anthony Blinken in a statement saying that the United States has no plans to take control of Russia by removing the president. Most said that Biden went off script here, and he probably did, but in my opinion, this was Biden trying to be the bully Biden that we were used to many years ago. I never liked him, but he was always a bully, and he was trying to be a bully at this point. Of course, the statement could be considered a threat, and that could be considered an act of war. However, it was interesting to hear how Blinken had backpedaled it. So if you can go back and listen to it if you want to. Anyway, the talks between Ukraine and Russia will start today, and they may bring good news to the world and good news to the stock market. The big winners last week were the oil stocks, the travel stocks, and of course, Apple has been the largest mover as well last week. You might see oil pull back a little bit today. You might see not oil, but Apple pull back today as China continues with their control the population effort, blaming COVID, of course. Also, Apple is pulling back on making iPhones. They're going to make 20% less because they feel the demand is slowing down. And of course, you got China not making parts. You got Apple thinking the demand is down, so they're going to be making less. This might be a really good opportunity. I don't know if you guys know about China, but they have a zero-tolerance policy for the common cold, otherwise known as coronavirus. It is astonishing how this continues. I just can't believe it. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, we saw many production plants that supply iPhone parts to Apple close down for a few days, and that made the Apple stock drop. And actually, it was the cause of the stock hitting 150, and that was the moment I told you all to buy it. It closed on Friday at 175. And my guess is it's going to go back to 185, even 200 range in the next few weeks. But this week coming up, we may have the jobs report also being released, and this could make the market nervous. Investors are looking forward to the job openings and labor turnover survey known as the JOLTS report. JOLTS report. We didn't come up with this stuff. The JOLTS report is one set of employment data that the Federal Reserve is watching closely as it tightens monetary policy. So ADP is also going to release its private payroll data ahead of the main show, right? They closely watch monthly jobs report on Friday. Not much more excitement till the end of the week, and then we'll end the official earnings season. And it's going to be a good earnings season. I'm going to keep you informed. I'm telling you, this might be a good play for you guys to pay attention to, because earnings is going to be pretty powerful this quarter. I think it's going to be probably the last best earnings for a while. Right now, the Dow is up 49, the S&P is up 7, and the NASDAQ is up 22. By the way, real quick, I want to say hello to Michael and Mick and Joe and Ken and Bill. Thanks so much. I totally appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Let me make these lips move better. Awesome. All right. Let's talk about the billionaire tax proposal. You got to love Joe Biden and the Democrats' virtual signaling moves. This is what the headlines are reporting. President Joe Biden is expected to propose a new minimum tax that would largely target billionaires when he unveils his 2023 budget, according to a document obtained by CNBC. It's called the Billionaire Minimum Income Tax. It would assess a 20% minimum tax rate on U.S. households worth more than $100 million. Over half the revenue could come from those worth more than $1 billion. So basically, it's not really a billionaire's tax. It's a 100 millionaires tax. But let's talk about this. Now, of course, every liberal idiot just went, yay, those billionaires will have to give 20% of their money. Give it to me. Give it to me. I want the money. Just like everything, or every piece of financial news that is released to the public as sensationalism, I have to investigate it and find out the truth and not the media hype. Well, here it is. We all know that there are several tax brackets, or some of you might know that there are several tax brackets for people. Most people in the country have no idea how this works and really should investigate it for themselves. In fact, most Americans, when asked, they think they pay 32 to 37% federal taxes on their income. Well, as I have taught my students several times, most Americans only pay 10 to 12% of their actual income to the federal government. And if you remember when Mitt Romney ran for president about 10 years ago, his federal tax returns showed he paid about 14% to the government, and all the Democrats were screaming how unfair this was. If they only understood the tax code, and by the way, they also paid that way, and Bernie Sanders' tax returns showed about the same effective tax rate. And just for clarification, when my effective tax rate goes over 14%, I question my accountant. Now, getting back to the billionaire's tax, this tax would sort of be a tip-up tax. In other words, if you have a net worth of over $100 million, your income for that year, no matter how much the effective tax rate you has, would be topped to 20%. So let me clarify this. This is on their income only. And even Warren Buffett was said to take a salary of only $350,000 a year when he was the richest person in the United States. My point is simple. It's going to be, first of all, a tough hurdle for the Democrats to pass, but even if they do, it isn't going to make much of a difference anyway. It's simply virtue signaling, and frankly, it's comical to me. Listen, I teach people how to pay less taxes using many vehicles such as LLCs, trusts, IRAs, and even HSAs. Don't you think these billionaires have the knowledge, or someone will help them with this knowledge? Hey, Elon. Hey, Warren. Hey, if your accounting team doesn't know this stuff, come to investor schooling this Thursday, and I'll teach you guys how to do it. I'll teach your accountant how to do it. Unreal. All right, let's talk about the George Floyd protesters. Wow. Listen, grab your sticks, grab your bricks, and grab your BLM signs. No, really, go get them. They may be worth $14 million. That's right, if you protest by burning down businesses, police cars, or even plain threaten your city with the same, you will be rewarded. Jurors in Colorado ordered the city and county of Denver to pay $14 million in damages to 12 plaintiffs after finding that police officers used excessive force against them during demonstrations over the killing of George Floyd in 2020. That's right, excessive force. Instead of staying home, the police actually attempted to do their job and keep peace in the city. The jury of eight jurors, concluded that the city and county failed to properly train its police, and as a result, officers violated the plaintiffs' constitutional rights under the First and Fourth Amendments. Some of the accounts by the unruly mob were being hit by projectiles, not bullets, projectiles, and being pepper sprayed. Really? Hit by projectiles and pepper sprayed? How about all the damage you did when the people in the cities, all this damage that they did to all the people in the cities that they burned and held hostage? Oh wait, I forgot. You weren't all Trump supporters, or you'd be in jail right now. And for those who don't know, many of the Trump supporters who were escorted into the Capitol building by police, I hope when they get shut down again by saying that they were escorted, by saying the truth about how they were escorted by the police. Well, watch some of the supporting videos. You can find them. Anyway, the people who were there that day are being harassed, their businesses are being shut down, and many are in jail, including a local King of Prussia area man who was 72 years old. His alleged crime was that he was as he was holding an American flag, cops pepper sprayed him, and as a knee-jerk reaction, he hit the cop with the flagpole. Why isn't he being awarded $14 million? In fact, why is he still in jail being held without bail? The answer is because he should have been holding a Black Lives Matter sign. If he did, he would have gotten $14 million. Let's take a break before my head explodes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, thanks for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn how to make more money and have more fun. Hey, I want to say hello to Jeff and Michael. Thanks, guys. And Tommy, thanks, guys, for watching. Mike says he wants to get paid for being forced to wear a mask. Psychological damage. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. By the way, hit that like button. Let me know you enjoy the show. And you can also leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'll try to respond to them live. All right, right now, the futures are up 52. The S&P is up 8.75. And the NASDAQ is up 31. Might not be a bad day. We've been talking about the Billionaire Tax, which isn't much. I mean, it's just kind of silly, actually. I don't even see it being much of a top-off, but it is. We talked about how you can be rewarded for burning down houses, and we talked about something else, whatever it was. But let's talk about coming up. We're going to be talking about Biden's approval rating. We're going to be talking about Amazon unions, and we're going to be talking about dropping the mandates. There it is, Mike. I'm going to be talking about it just for you. All right, let's get into it. Before we do, though, we're going to also be talking about today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button? Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home and let me know what you think of the show. Hey, by the way, before we start the second half, we had talked about the nonsense that the great Democrat assimilation has been causing, and if you want to do something about it, you need to be at the Washington Crossing Inn on April 24th. I've been telling you about a great event we'll be hosting at the Washington Crossing Inn in Bucks County. It's all about finances and freedom. Along with myself, we will have the outspoken Bill Spadea as a keynote speaker. And Bill is a freedom fighter and the #1 talk show host in New Jersey. You're going to love this guy. He's amazing. We also have the amazing, even more amazing, Doug Mastriano as another keynote speaker. This man led the battle against the ridiculous anti-constitutional mask and vaccine mandates. Doug's story will memorize you as a leading contender in the governor's race for Pennsylvania, and you'll want to be at this event just to shake his hand and wish him luck. Go to 4mmw.com, and register for this event before the price increase. Hey, it's going to sell out fast. 4mmw.com. We actually have only about 30 seats left, so go to 4mmw.com and register right now. All right, let's get into the second half, and let's talk about Mr. Biden's approval rating. President Poopy Pants, he got an approval rating according to an NBC News survey. Biden's job approval rating keeps falling in his second year, with just 40% of Americans approving the job that he's doing. And that's a new low for the president. We all know that he's destroying the country financially with runaway inflation. By the way, the inflation rate has hit the highest in 40 years. We also know that President Braindead is sitting by watching a war that he could have stopped. We also know that the Fed is raising interest rates and is going to destroy most of Americans' ability to buy housing. And we know that every promise he made when he ran for president, he lied about. That includes not only the promise of not shutting down the pipeline and not stopping fracking. These broken promises led to higher gas prices as he fails to solve the oil problem caused by his politics. Oh, and by the way, don't forget the promise to forgive student loans. Hey, all you listeners and watchers on social media, how are you enjoying starting to pay your student loans again? The loans that you thought the government was going to get rid of and forgive after the scamdemic? Well, with all of this, I really only have one question for the people who are in this survey. Who are these 40% that think this guy is doing a good job? Are we sure that the people in this survey aren't dead people voting? Or maybe they're just last-minute paper votes for the survey that NBC forgot to count at the last minute? Well, I got to tell you, I'm sure glad I'm not a 40%er. Hey, the unions are coming! The unions are coming! This is truly the ride of the Paul Revere in modern times. The unions will come to a company, take your money from the employees, and make a handful of union leaders rich while hurting the workers and holding the customers of the company hostage while they cry like little babies because they want something that they didn't earn. Well, now Amazon is being faced with the union blues as the extortionists are coming to Staten Island to try to make the warehouse there a union shop. By the way, have you guys noticed the commercials for Amazon lately? They're commercials saying that they pay more and they offer health benefits the day you start to work for the company. Most companies have at least a 30-day waiting period for health insurance, so this is a huge benefit. It dawned on me why we keep seeing these commercials. Amazon will be forced to cut these benefits once the extortionists come to power when the unions run the shops. The union benefits will be a 20-day or 30-day wait, and the employees will now have the same pay based on union rules and not performance. No, I don't feel sorry for Amazon. In fact, they're going to laugh all the way to the bank, as the expression goes, right? But the people who don't know that their paycheck will be lowered by union fees and their benefits and pay will be directed by unions instead of performance will be the people hurting. Well, good luck, Amazon employees, as you're dragged under the bus by people pretending they have your best interests in mind. Don't believe me? Ask these people who are pushing the unions, ask them if they're one of the 40% who feel Biden is doing a good job. If they say yes, vote against them. All right, apparently, the airlines and the airline workers are as fed up with mask mandates as the rest of the public. A group of CEOs from all major airlines in the U.S. is calling on President Biden, Gestapo Joe, to drop the federal transportation mask mandate along with the international pre-departure COVID-19 testing requirement. In an open letter released by the travel industry lobbying group Airlines for America, the name of the group is called Airlines for America, the group is calling on the Biden administration to sunset federal transport travel restrictions. The group argues that the restrictions no longer reflect the realities of the current epidemiological environment. They never did! Anyway, this letter that can be found on the website airlines.org was signed by every major airline CEO. This letter is practically begging the Biden administration to actually follow the science and stop the madness. The newest extension of Gestapo Joe's mask mandate is supposed to end on April 28th. I sure hope he leaves it alone, but if that decides to extend it, I hope the CEOs who sign this letter stand up to the Nazi and say, no more. Hey, let's take a break while I get some oxygen. See you in a minute. Investor schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor schooling? Never heard of.
Investor schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, right now the Dow is up 58, the S&P is up 9, and the NASDAQ is up 31 3/4. Not bad. We talked today about the Billionaire Tax, and I don't know, I just find this hysterical that they actually virtue signal with adding a tax. We talked about the reward for George Floyd protesters, so go get your BLM sign, go break some windows, and you can make some money. We talked about Biden's approval rating, and we're trying to figure out who these 40% are. We talked about Amazon unions trying to steal money from the Amazon employees, but yeah, you know, that's up to them. They can do whatever they want. And of course, we talked about dropping the mandate. If they don't drop the mandate soon, I'm going to cry. All right. And we're also going to be talking about, coming up, we're going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But first of all, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button? Hey, let everyone know what great stocks are playing, or what stock plays are coming up by sharing this information. You can share on your page or on groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. And of course, you can leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube. And of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. And I think we're the only show, I think there's two shows right now on WWDB that actually tells the truth, because we're the only ones who are actually conservatives. All right, let's talk about some great tips for the day. All right, it looks a bit mild today, even though the Dow is up a little bit. It looks a bit mild as the investors soak in the 2 great weeks we had in the market. As I mentioned earlier, we have Apple taking a breather as the communists in China continue to attempt to destroy China with the zero-tolerance policy for a cold. And this may affect the supply chain for Apple parts, but I don't think it's going to affect it much. So I'm telling you, it may actually be an opportunity to get back in the stock at a nice discount. Right now, the last time I looked, let me even take a quick look right now at Apple and see what Apple is doing. I actually think it's down a little bit. Yeah, it's only down about 2.5 points, so it's not bad. By the way, Tesla made the news again as Elon Musk is considering a stock split and a dividend. Man, I don't know how this stock, it just keeps rocking and rocking. It's amazing. The stock is moving up this morning on the news. It's up about 5 or 6%. Meta, which is Facebook, moved up nicely last week, and I'm still aiming for 250 before earnings. However, I don't plan to hold it over earnings under any circumstances. My guess is it's going to fall again to the 200 range after earnings. My travel stocks are also moving up nicely, and they're up pre-market. Come on, AAL right now, just real quick, I got to tell you, AAL is up 28 cents, and it's a 17.29. It broke that 17 mark, which means it's going to rock. I really need to see it at 21. Come on, AAL, hit 21. I need it. You can do it. Let's also look at the futures one more time. Take a look over here. We got the Dow is up 59, the S&P is up 9.5, and the NASDAQ is up 34. Not bad. All right, let's talk about the crypto scene. Wow, Bitcoin is popping. I'm amazed. Look, I don't have any Bitcoin. I have a little bit of other crypto, but I'm excited because not only is my crypto moving up along with it, but also often crypto is a tell for the direction of the general market. So with crypto moving up, we know that the general market is going to be moving up as well. By the way, gold and silver, of course, right? So gold and silver, we know that gold and silver are moving down a little bit. And my guess is, people are moving into crypto and they're moving out of gold and silver. Gold and silver is always a long-term steady play. So, if you bought some gold last week at 2000, don't worry about it. It'll be over that as well. You just want to hold on to it. The Treasury bond, I can't believe, but the Treasury bond is just under 2.5%. Wow, welcome to the new normal. I'm amazed that the Treasury bond being 2.5% isn't killing the NASDAQ right now. I'm thinking that investors are just ignoring it now. They're welcoming it and they're saying, oh, whatever, it is what it is. Oil, and actually the new indicator, oil is now below 108 a barrel, and that basically is what's moving the market right now. When oil prices go down, the market goes up. So as long as oil prices keep going down, the market will keep going up. Hey, look. We all know that a new financial situation is coming. The real question is it going to be a recession or is it going to be a simple downturn? Well, if you want to survive through it, you should order my new book. Go to barnesandnoble.com and look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. I'm telling you, it's a great book. You'll really learn a lot about money. Go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse, pre-order it, and I promise you're going to learn something when you get it. Hey, and by the way, if you haven't been listening, I don't know, I keep making the same joke, but my accountant definitely confirms that it's tax deductible. So you definitely want to take a look at that. You definitely want to take a look at that book. By the way, real quickly, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. I want to thank you for your continued support. And if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. Every once in a while, have somebody come up to me and say, hey, I listened to your show on the radio. And I'm like, wow, you and the 7 other people that listen to this show, I can't wait to meet them all. Hey, by the way, I want to let you guys know on Wednesday we have a meet and greet event at Chambers 19 Restaurant in Doylestown. So we're going to be there from 7 to 9 p.m. discussing real estate and other investments. So you want to go to Chambers 19 in Doylestown. There'll be a bunch of us there, and hopefully we will see you. That's this Wednesday, March 30th. You want to go to Chambers 19 Restaurant. Have a blast. All right, don't forget, sign up for the event. The event at Washington Crossing Inn in Bucks County. It's Finances and Freedom. Along with myself, we have Bill Spadia, we have Doug Mastriano. We also have a bunch of speakers like Dan Zatowski and also Anna Kelly going to be talking about how to buy houses with no money. By the way, that's my favorite thing to talk about. It's going to sell out fast. Go to 4mmw.com. Don't forget that from time to time, I own some of the options and assets discussed in this show. The opinions discussed on this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Let's make it a profitable day.